Welcome to my review of the Vido Backgammon board. I purchased this board with my own money. I really appreciate the serial hobbyist review that helped guide me towards buying this board. But I figured I'd provide another review for a customer that purchased this board with their own money. So let's dive right into it. The board, the case itself is outstanding. Honestly, I think it's one of my highlights of this board. This is also the first board I've ever purchased, by the way, so I really don't have anything to compare it against at all. So keep that in mind. But the case itself is terrific. It's some sort of like vinyl fake ostrich cover, but it seems super durable, not hard to not easy to scratch at all. I just really like the case material. The hardware is really nice. All the corners, everything's really well done. All like the seams on the corners are like welded or melted together to where there's no obvious places where it will wear. The handle is really nice and sturdy. The latches are nice and sturdy. The corner pieces are nice. I will say, like, if you're playing on a really nice dinner table, these little knobs on these corner pieces could maybe scratch your table. So maybe keep that in mind. The hinges are on the outside of the board, just FYI. But I don't care about that at all. So outside of the board, terrific. Nothing to complain about. So now open up the board. Okay, so here's the inside of the board. The playing surface, I think, is absolutely terrific. The applied triangles that the serial hobbyist pointed out, I think, are really nice. Because it's applied, the lines look really sharp. I don't know how that compares to other felt boards like Backgammon or whatnot, but I just think it looks really nice. So you got like kind of the felt feel, and then here it's kind of more of that applied surface, but I don't know, it just looks and feels great. Checkers on the board slide around well. So I like that. One issue with the playing surface is along this side, it is not flat. So when you move a checker over it, there's a slight curve right there. So that's, I would call, a manufacturing defect. I really only notice it when I have say 4 checkers here. If I were to slide a checker off in that direction, you can kind of feel that bump. And I've also had dice. I've had a die kind of land in that corner and it's kind of cocked to the side. Might not be able to pick up that on the camera, but you can definitely feel it. But overall, very happy with the inside of the board. All the fits and finishes look like they're really well put together. The logo looks classy over here. The Vido board, the hinges, everything just sits on here really nicely. I'm really happy with the inside of the board, except for the defect over here. The checkers. The checkers themselves, I really like. However, I'll overlay a video. They came delivered to me scratched. All the images you see on the Vido website, the checkers look like this, like they do on my board here. I'll overlay another video of the before and then the after. I polished them. It took me about 4 hours, maybe more, to polish every one of these checkers. I had to use a medium cut, like car polish, to get the gouges out. Then I had a plastic 3-step polish after that. I only used 2 of the steps. So I used 3 steps, car polish, grit number 3 plastic polish, then grit number 2 plastic polish to get them to this mirror finish that I think Vido advertised on their website. When the checkers arrived, they were not individually wrapped. So they were sitting in the bear off tray. There was wrap around them, but they were all together like this. And my guess is when they shipped all the way from the UAE, they were just kind of chattering against each other on the planes and on the trucks. And that'd be my best guess on how they got so scratched. That was disappointing. What was even more disappointing, though, is the customer service. I messaged them on WhatsApp and I was left on red. They saw the message and did not reply. That was a little disheartening because before I purchased the board, I had an issue with the coupon code, so it was 10% off. When I asked them, hey, could I get the coupon code because I lost the code, they immediately replied, like instantly applied, like, hey, here's the code. There you go. So I know they will reply, but then when I just brought up, hey, the checkers are scratched, I just asked, do you have a recommended polish you would use, a recommended method? They did not reply. I responded again, like, hey, just, I'll be making a review video. Just want to get a reply. Do you have any thoughts or comments? And again, the message was left on read. They saw the message, but did not reply. I wasn't looking to like get a free board or anything like that. I just wanted, hey, at least a response, or at least a suggestion on what polish to use, what approach to use. And I got nothing. So that was disappointing. So maybe that's a clue into their customer service. Keep that in mind. Back to the board. So the checkers, after I polish them, are terrific. They glide really nicely on the board. They look great. Really no complaints. After I polish them, no complaints. I will say, I think the serial hobbyist pointed this out as well. I'll overlay another video. The back side of the checkers do look really plain. So the one side looks terrific. The other side, on some of them, it looks completely plain. So I consider these like one-sided checkers. After I polished them, the white ones some of them look pretty nice. This one looks pretty plain. So the white ones are a little bit more two-sided, but the brown ones especially, they got to be one side, or else it'll kind of drive you crazy. But overall, the checkers look great. Here, I'll set them up real quick here. All right, so there's the board all laid out. Looks terrific. I mean, looks really good. It looks like the marketing pictures you see on the website. So really happy with it after I polish the checkers. The cups look great. They feel great. There's really, I mean, they got the trip lip and everything. They look and feel well made. Like they're not going to fall apart. Just really happy with the cups. The doubling cube, like the serial hobbyist mentioned, is really cool. It has to be glass. It's very heavy. It has some heft to it. One of the highlights of the board for sure. I don't know if it matters to you, but there is no 64 face. It has the Vido logo. So in lieu of a 64 face, it says Vido. So I don't know if that would bother you or not, but keep that in mind. Dice are great. I think they match the board very well. I don't care about precision dice at all, so I'm happy with them. They come in this little pouch. The pouch is okay, I guess. The only thing I don't like is when you put all these in here, you tighten the drawstring. To then put it over here, these strings are kind of everywhere, which I don't know, maybe I'm picky. I don't like to have to kind of tuck those strings in. So not huge fan of that, but it's fine. One thing to note about the inside of the board is when you go to close it, I don't know if the serial hobbyist mentioned this or not. I think he may have. It won't close if any of these checkers are all the way to the inside there. So this won't close. They won't latch. I felt kind of dumb. It took me a while. I kept thinking the cubes in the dice in this cube were like, that was what was sticking up and causing it. But no, you have to make sure all the checkers are pushed away from the middle for it to close, which honestly does bother me. It's pretty annoying because sometimes you'll move it over and then by the time you get it down, just like that, they have fallen already. Move it over. Cool. Oh, they fell again. But I mean, I kind of jostled it on purpose that time, but you get my point. Now it'll close. So that was a little annoying. I will put the checkers back out and play a little bit, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to just play a couple turns so you can get kind of the sounds and looks of the board. Okay, so there were some of the sounds of playing with the board. Overall, very happy with the board after polishing the checkers. So if you don't want to polish the checkers yourself, then maybe consider other options. I think the case is terrific. I really like the playing surface. There is a manufacturing defect over here. Doesn't bother me that much because overall, I think it looks great, feels great, sounds great. The checkers moving against each other sounds terrific. The dice cups sound terrific, feel terrific. So overall, I'm very happy. Little bit of a watch point with their customer service, being that they didn't respond at all to my inquiry about the scratch checkers. They will send you a coupon code if you just message them on WhatsApp if you lose their 10% off coupon code. But again, overall, very happy with the board. I recommend it. But just beware, if you do buy it, you may choose to want to polish the checkers just like me, or plan to buy different checkers from Backgammon or something like that. That's it for the video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Thank you.